going on, Jerome's? So Minnesota Vikings, when they drafted JJ McCarthy, number 10 overall, everyone assumed, okay, kid just turned 21 in January, is going to be this skim milk and maybe feel spicy at 2%. I was like, hey, if you want to come win, don't come to Michigan because you won't be about girls and partying here. Come on, we are going to win one for the Gipper, right? And yeah, all the stories like, hey, hockey guy, he's going to fit in great in the great state of Minnesota, but could McCarthy actually be a dog? Can McCarthy actually have that dog in him? And beyond his college record, beyond his high school record, beyond what he's going to bring to the table, like, he's got some feistiness to him. And I think it's super under the radar. And I can't wait to see it bubble up to the surface and him being a true blue, just alpha with the Vikings and just saying F you to the NFL. So long story longer, getting into the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry. Now, it's kind of fun for me. So I'm like a college football agnostic. Like, I'm kind of USC fan, kind of Texas fan, kind of Gophers fan, but I respect Michigan and Ohio State, how much they hate each other, right? And it is a legitimate rivalry, and McCarthy was in the thick of it, THICC, for 3 seasons, 2 as a starter. And what's interesting is, so we're talking about this because this gives a interesting glimpse into his mentality about things. So bear with me. So back in 2019, was this Maize and Blue? I think like their SB Nation site. So 5-star Michigan quarterback commit JJ McCarthy hates Ohio State, says they lied to him. So I'm sure this did big numbers on the site. And also look at the date, May 22nd, 2019. So JJ McCarthy didn't enroll at Michigan until 2021. So this was the spring before his junior year in high school. College football people are nuts, and I love it. And it's fantastic, man. And also, you see McCarthy's wearing 2. He's dropping the deuce on them. It's fantastic. But the article, for 5-star 2021 quarterback and Michigan commit JJ McCarthy, he grew up loving Ohio State, but that love is now gone. I used to love them. Now I want to kill them, McCarthy told The Athletic. So a complete villain origin story for Buckeyes fans. Look away, Columbus. The animosity began after Ohio State coach Ryan Day. Ryan Day is either the best bad coach or the worst good coach. It's hard to tell. Told McCarthy that they won't be taking a quarterback until the end of summer. Coach Day told me he wasn't going to take a 2021 quarterback until the end of summer or anything like that because he wanted to make sure everything was all good, so I didn't really worry about all that during my visit, McCarthy said. But I didn't get the feeling when I was there. I really didn't. With all the coaches there and how they interacted with us, I didn't feel the big family tradition part of it. It was either you're good at football or you're over there. That's how I felt. In short, McCarthy felt like they lied to him because eventually they did bring in a quarterback, Kyle McCord, who was very poop at. I mean, Kyle McCord is probably the only reason why Marvin Harrison Jr. might have gone as wide receiver too. It's kind of crazy. And also McCord is gone from the Buckeyes. He's at Syracuse now or whatever. I get it. It's a business, but it always sucks being lied to. And that's kind of where the rivalry started for me and the hatred. But what are you going to do? It's a business, and they have to do what they have to do. They lied to my face, but it's all good now, McCarthy said. It'll be a while until McCarthy is wearing a Michigan uniform, but his comments will be well received by Michigan fans. Now, you would think, so with those comments out there and the craziness and rivalry between Michigan and Ohio State, that Buckeyes fans would just be seething. It's like, hey, this jabroni little kid off of his first communion and confirmation is like, we're going to tear that up. Michael Hall is just going to poo-poo on all that, but not so much. So McCarthy went 3-0 against Michigan, 3-0 against Ohio State, 2-0 as a starter. And also, it's kind of funny. So Harbaugh is legitimately hilarious. So at the end of the blowout win, 42-27 back in 2021, he put in McCarthy and had McCarthy just chuck it downfield. And it was great. So the college quarterback rating is not the same as the NFL quarterback rating. It's calculated different. And with NFL, it's 158.3 is perfect. College football, I think it goes up to 2,000, or actually can go up to infinity. So with his one throw, 1 for 1 for 31 yards, JJ McCarthy had a 360.4 quarterback rating, which is great. But also, you notice even the 2 starts He had a 93.1 QBR plus. And, I mean, yeah, you could say that, well, he threw the ball 24 and 20 times a game. He did have 3 touchdowns in 2022. But either way, a win is a win is a win. And it's funny that Ohio State was number 2 in all 3 of those games. And also, I mean, yeah, the 2 games he started, obviously one was at the Shoe, which was the big-time win in 2022, and one was at the Big House. So he just got it done against a team that he grew up loving. Like, this kid grew up in like suburban Chicago, watching Ohio State. Probably had a Craig Krenzel poster on his wall, and is like, oh, he wore a sweater vest because he wanted to be like Jim Tressel, and then he sold memorabilia for tattoos because he wanted to be like Terrell Pryor, and then all of a sudden it's like, nope, no. No, what's interesting? So, again, diving. If you're not really into college football is insane. College football is nuts, especially now in the NIL era. It's beautiful. But just going through, so this is from 24/7. JJ McCarthy's timeline of events. So you're reading that date correctly. So June 10th, 2017. 24/7 tracked that 14-year-old JJ McCarthy attended a school camp at Iowa State. So he went from Chicago out to Ames, Iowa, and went to a football camp put on by Matt Campbell. And then the same day, he got an offer from Matt Campbell as a 14-year-old, as an 8th grader. It's hilarious, man. And also, Brock Purdy's the names for like 9 years. I mean, Brock Purdy might have been a true freshman in 2017. I don't know, man. But just going through the school. So Indiana offered McCarthy. Also when he was still 14, had an unofficial visit to the Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy probably had the mullet back then. It's hilarious, man. Then, all right, so South Carolina offered him. Notre Dame had a couple visits, unofficial visit, offer from Yale. Kid's impressive, man. Offer from the Badgers. I don't know if I could have abided by if he would have went to the Badgers, where I understand that once they're in purple, but you remember Brooks Bollinger, quarterback from the stupid Badgers, and same thing with Joel Stave. I'm not proud, but I will admit that I rooted against them because they were stupid Badgers quarterbacks. Again, I'm not even that big of a Gopher fan. I just hate the Badgers. I feel like that's fine. I feel like that's okay. It's college football. You don't explain anything. Offered from Purdue, offered from Michigan, offered from Illinois. I mean, this is so long ago. Burt Bielema still might have been in Illinois, but the state school get in there. Northwestern probably still could have lived at home, which is great. Actually, he's from the burbs. Offered by the Ohio State, offered by Penn State, offered by Michigan State. Who's going to make a Penn State joke? Can't. Offered by the Hawkeyes. Hey, could you imagine JJ McCarthy in a Kirk Ferentz offense? Hey, JJ, we know that you attempted 18 passes in the national title game. We're going to have you cut that in half. Arizona State offered him. Tennessee, Rocky Top, Mississippi State. I've never seen that script. Actually, that's probably like a baseball script. Ole Miss, all up in there. And then lastly, bringing out home, of course, drafted by the Vikings. But then a couple offers at the end. Oh, that's just the U being the U. Love to see that. Doesn't like to party. Unofficial visit to Arizona State. Come on, man. Don't tell me that you visited the Arizona State campus and was in bed by 9:30 after a nice warm glass of 2%. Come on, man. Louisville trying to get all up in there. Georgia Tech, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Duke, A&M, and eventually committed to Michigan. So you'll notice one thing. Did you see Minnesota in there? So I don't know. Maybe PJ just like, we have zero chance with this kid. But you're the state of hockey. You could have sold him on that. It's just like you had Trey Lance in your backyard and you didn't offer him. And I know the Trey Lance hasn't worked out in the NFL, but I mean, how can you have the number 3 overall pick quarterback in your backyard and you don't even like offer him even like a walk-on spot? But I digress there. But anyways, this is like a long meandering way just to get into the mind of JJ McCarthy. I think the Vikings might have found themselves a dog. And I know that he's all happy-go-lucky and is like, yeah. No, I think that he's a kid that's going to internalize, hey, you MFers, I should have been the first quarterback off the board. Screw Caleb Williams. I should have gone 2. I should have gone 3. I should have gone 6. I should have gone 8. I was quarterback 5 off the board. You're going to do this to me? I'm the police. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. And I think that's what JJ McCarthy's going to do. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. JJ McCarthy, Ohio State villain origin story. I kind of love it. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. You guys know what to do. Skol, production value.